Hey everyone, I wanted to post a rapture dream that I had last night. This is my first YouTube video, but I wanted to be obedient, and I hope that it encourages everyone who sees this to hold on, because we're truly about to go home. I wrote down the dream, so please bear with me. The dream started with me and my wife. We were in what appeared to be a hotel room, but it wasn't an ordinary hotel. It was almost like a high-rise building, sort of like the buildings you would see in Las Vegas, where the windows they weren't small. They were extremely large, to the point where you could almost see the ceiling, but it was pretty small. The ceiling was small, but the window was huge. Anyway, as me and my wife, we were in the hotel, there were also family members that were in the hotel with us. And I can remember standing off to the side, like in the corner, and I had my hand on the window for some reason. And I said to one of the family members, me and my wife were getting ready for the rapture. And when I said this, the family member kind of snarled at me, like, I guess mocked, like a mocking smirk at me. And as soon as she did that, I heard this sound. I really can't put the sound into words, but it was almost like a trumpet combined with a shofar. But it wasn't just one sound, it was like multiple sounds all blaring at once. And it was unlike anything that I've ever heard in my life, and it shook me to the core. As soon as I heard this, because I had my hand on the window, I could feel the vibration from the sound, and it shook the whole hotel that we were in. And as soon as that happened, I was caught up, and the dream immediately shifted to another scene. And in this scene, it was like I was looking through someone else's eyes, but I was still myself, if that makes any sense. It's so hard to describe it. But I found myself in this huge church, and the church was packed with people. They were devastated. The look on the people's faces that were in the church, they were screaming and hollering, and it was utter terror. I can't really even put into words what I saw, but it was almost a look of confusion and chaos on their faces. They didn't know what happened. And towards the front of the church, I saw what appeared to be the pastor. The pastor and I guess some of the pastor's assistants, or the people who helped the pastor in the church, they were all standing towards the front of the church, and I was standing off to the side. It was like I was witnessing everything. And as I was standing there looking, they were screaming at the pastor, saying, all types of things. They were just screaming at him, angry. And the pastor, this is what I really remember. I saw his face, and he was screaming, saying, "We've been left behind, and we have to go through the tribulation. We have to go through the great tribulation." He just kept saying, "Now we have to go through the great tribulation." And he was crying and screaming at the same time. And when he said this, the people in the crowd, they reacted to what he was saying, and some were in disbelief, some were screaming because I guess they knew what happened, and some people even got up and walked out of the church. And I also remember in the crowd, it was mixed with different races of people, from different backgrounds. Some were middle class, some were upper class. It was just different people, but they were all upset, and some, they didn't know what to do. So as the dream, I guess, progressed, I saw everyone run out of the church. And as soon as they ran out the church, the dream shifted again into what appeared to be like an outside setting. And I found myself standing on a bus stop, and I looked behind me, and when I looked behind me, I saw the people from the church. It seemed like they were waiting for a bus to pick them up. When they were waiting, I saw this bus come from the left side of the scene towards the front of the church, and they only had one driver in the bus, and he looked like he was about to stop, but when he slowed down, he had like this huge smirk or smile on his face, like he was mocking the people who were left behind. I guess they were left behind, and he drove off. And I can remember seeing the shock on their faces when he did this, because it was like he did it out of malice, you know. And they were like, wait, hold up, and they tried to run after the bus, but it just vanished. And so as I'm in this scene of the dream, I saw a woman. She appeared to be pregnant, but in the dream I knew that she didn't have a baby inside of her. She just appeared to be pregnant because she was holding her stomach and just looking down like, I don't care anymore. And as I saw this, she was standing on what looked like a hill. And when I went up to her to see, you know, what was wrong, I looked over the hill and I saw all of these guys with guns. They appeared to be like terrorists, and they started shooting at all the people who came out of the church, as well as the woman who was pregnant. And I told her, get down, but she didn't listen to me. She just didn't listen to me. And as soon as the first shot, I heard the first shot, and it struck her, and she was killed instantly. And the dream shifted to another scene. And in this scene, I saw, it was like I was looking through another person's eyes. This time it was someone, I think, who was wealthy. And it was they were still in like a hotel. It was another hotel scene. And it was similar to what I heard in the first, where I was in the first scene of the dream, but it was different. It was more expensive, I guess. And as I was this person, I heard a voice saying that the rapture is a special reward. I just kept hearing it. The rapture is a special reward, and salvation is the key, but the rapture is a special reward. I just kept hearing it, and it just rang out to me. And I'll try to describe what I heard next along with it. It was like I was that person seeing through their eyes, but I was also myself. You know, I was also saved, and I heard myself in heaven, if that makes sense. All I could do was I could hear it audibly in my ear in the dream, and I heard a huge celebration going on in the right side of my ear while I'm looking through the eyes of this other person. I know it's hard to describe, but that's what happened. And that was the end of the dream. I just wanted to post this dream, you guys, to encourage you. I know that we're all barely hanging on to our faith in the Lord, and we're living in perilous times, evil times. But I just wanted to encourage everyone, please hold on. Please hold on. Jesus is truly coming. Hold on. Love all you guys. God bless.